Alright, what's up everyone? I am back for another golden shot tutorial here. This is going to cover the Maple Bay hole here for the hard. If you need to see this Vineyard Acres medium shot, I have covered this several times. If I was to go to the Golf Clash Notebook app, you can see there I long press it to pull it up. If I was to go to either help or the top search there, I could go to search golden shot and search for golden shots, and you will find that hole several times. More than likely there's Vineyard Acres hole 8. Pretty sure this is it, so this should cover you. Where you see the medium hole, there's a specific way that I kind of do it. Here you can see I do walk through that guide. If you want to see it, you will be able to go through that video there. What we're going to focus on with this guide is the hard hole, Maple Bay. And let's just give you a little bit of overview of the shot. First off, we played this in the rookie tournament from the first tee box. This is going to be very similar with just a little bit larger wind. So you'll see the winds are between 5 and 8 miles per hour. You'll also see that using maybe around 1.8 per ring is going to be pretty spot on. So with the golden long iron here, you can see 66 accuracy. It's going to basically equate to kind of 1.8-ish per ring. You'll try to make all your ring adjustments between 3 and 5 rings for the most part. The only other thing that you'll need to play is secondary wind effect. I'm going to cover 2 shots for you guys on this. I basically like to play the way that the wind effect is. So if the wind points to the right, I'm going to aim towards the left, fairway. If the wind points towards the left, I'm going to aim towards the right fairway. I'm going to always choose to play the direction of the wind to better help myself. So first, let me go ahead, throw this in here real quick. I'm going to put the club into the tool, but if you needed to do it by hand, do check out what I was mentioning. Now, what I'll try to do is you'll try to, there's a spot up here where it kind of changes the line. You can see right there. I like to keep it just short of that. So what I'll pretty much do is use right around 3 on the backspin. I might just come back inside just a little bit more. And just for this first one, I'm just going to do kind of, by pretty much just winging it, because I wanted to show you just as a guide as to what I do for basically scanning to find the zone that I want. And you can see with that spin, it's pretty perfect distance. I would have just needed to get my curl down, just a little bit more curl in that case. And this is where playing the wind effect is going to come in, because those left winds are going to let you curl the ball less. So you'll see that I'll play 2 different ways. I do prefer that right method. It's a little bit easier to get the line. All I needed was just a little bit more curl. Ideally, I'd like to land towards the right every time. Because what you'll see when I go to the left fairway, I'll have to actually have a second hop on the fairway. Anytime you have to make a first fairway hop and then a second, there's going to be some loss of precision. You're going to find that the fairway bounces aren't as precise as landing on the green, so it's much better to get the first bounce on the fairway, second bounce onto the green. So I do prefer the right, going towards the right, because of that method. So let's jump in here and do some shots. See if I can't unlock some of those chests. Same thing's going to apply. I'm going to make sure that I pull before that curvy part on the fairway. Now I'm going to start using the wind directional here. I will be pulling up a little bit more towards max, so somewhere in here. So 3.5-ish rings. Other than that, I'll just try to perfect the spin. In this case of a headwind, I might take off and maybe do 2.5 on the top spin instead of 3. Other than that, you'll see that I go right around here for my ring adjustment, and make sure you don't pull long and, run yourself into that situation where you land on that long hill because it makes it a lot harder to control the ball. But here you can see I'm able to just slide it in with ease. So this is actually going to be one of the more easy holes for us to do. So I do highly recommend doing this golden shot. It's going to have very good advantages other than, essentially getting things like Big Topper and Castaway and all those cards in all your chests. You'll find it very, very rewarding to do this one because it should be relatively easy to unlock these. Now, it can still be a challenge. Here you can see we're still going to have these left winds. And again, just make sure that you kind of get it to where it's just short of that glitchy stuff. So same thing here. You'll find that I'm going to do right around 3 on the backspin. And I can pull back farther than that and still try to crank up the 3. So you kind of saw me do that on the very first wind, as you saw me kind of over pull that. Now what you're going to see here is, right around 3-ish rings on the adjustment. So pull to right here. Again, with playing that wind effect, I'll be able to limit the amount that I need to curl it, which is nice. So that's what you'll see that I keep trying to do, is try to predict that curl. And you can see it just comes up short of that gold. Let's see if we can't get a wind pointed the other direction. See if I can. Again, more cards I don't want. It looks like they just gave us a tailwind that's maybe just pointed towards the right. So I'm going to jump over to this other method. You'll see that I have to change the spin up a little bit as well. I don't have to change up to this method, but I'm going to. So you'll find, did I do the arrow? Yeah. So I'm thinking, somewhere down towards mid-ish club. And you'll see this is exactly what I was talking about, how you have to play the fairway. This actually makes the shot much tougher, especially with no ball guide. You can't really see how it's running out. And you can see how the pitch of the ball is changing as I move up the fairway. You might want to stay towards the back of that, if at all possible. Aside from that, you'll see that I'll pull towards there. I'm going to try to get away with no curl on this because the wind's kind of going to help me. And let's see if I can get this just didn't roll out. So I almost had it. You can see that it's going to be very easy to unlock these chests. And we should be able to get this last one. Again, you can see, the cards that I'm getting not worth the time investment. But this guide is for you guys. And, if for any reason that, you choose, if you're appreciative and, just want to show your support, totally optional. But, hit me up in Messenger if you do, have the opportunity or desire to, contribute towards the golden shot. A lot of my shots are not, 100% of my shots aren't funded by anybody other than myself. So to put together these guides, I don't get support from Playdemic. I'm not sponsored by them. So, if you guys are interested only, keep that in mind. Everything that you guys send is greatly appreciative. So let's take a look here. Keep rolling here. I'm going to play somewhere around kind of mid-club. I'll just kind of use this 3.2 number. Let's see if I can't get this and we can just jump over to the hard hole. Again, as I mentioned, I mentioned this last time, in the tailwinds, I can probably just kind of still use the 3 backspin and try to master this wind effect here. And you'll see I'm just going to use the mid number here, right around here. Looks like I'm just outside that edge. I may just try it one more time. You can see I'm not getting the cards anyway. So I'd like to maybe just give you just one bonus shot over at the other. So if I do miss this again, I'll just jump over. But you can see how easily you'll be able to master this shot. It's not complicated at all. And even if you weren't using the wind directional tool or any kind of aid, you'll see that a lot of these adjustments are going to be fairly simple. Either way, I'll just kind of change my spin just a little bit. And again, no curl. I'll just try to kind of get that land zone down. You'll see that I'm going to use maybe just a fraction under 1 on the top spin. And again, just try to master that line and get this about 3.7. Perfect ball. And that's more or less kind of what I was mentioning about how tough that actually is to get the alignment. You might need to just back off the side spin a little bit, or kind of change your landing zone just slightly, get it a little bit more left. You'll see that it's very tricky when you land that second bounce on the fairway. You know, if it just misses that mark, there's a lot more undulation on the fairway. So it'll have the tendency to kind of kick towards the right. So you can see, you know, we'll easily get through that chess, you know, following these techniques. Just, you know, try to keep in mind that with, you know, headwinds, you might want to use maybe 2.5 going towards the right on the backspin. And make sure that you don't long pull into that long area where the ball guide becomes a little glitchy on the right-hand side. Other than that, we should be able to use 3 and just try to, you know, cheat it back, because the farther you go back from that hill that I was showing you on the right-hand side, you're okay by pulling back as far as you want. There's really nothing glitchy in front. So we can just kind of change the line based on how much a tailwind is and just try to get that second hop right on the very front of the green. Otherwise, when we move to the left side, keep in mind that it's going to be about, you know, somewhere between 3/4 backspin to 1.5, depending on the wind direction. And I did have one in the face. I had one that was a tailwind, and you got to see kind of the different effects. So do check those out, because you might have winds. You know, I have no way of predicting. If you have all right winds, you're going to want to play the left side. You'll probably want to start backing off that side spin, because you won't need to use, if I got a wind pointed just at 3 o'clock, I'm not going to even need full spin there. And I'll just have to really perfect that second hop to make sure that it lands on the perfect spot of the fairway and just feeds out to the hole. Now I'm going to just go to the bonus time here. Not too worried about that last gold ring. You guys can see easily kind of how you can, you know, definitely work through and get it. But I did want to just give you just a brief demonstration of this shot just so you can see it. What I'll typically try to do is try to land very, very close to this rough down here. And what you'll see is I can pretty much, if I land within a ring here, especially into headwinds, I don't even need to use the spin. So that's what I'll typically try to do. It looks like this is going to kind of require it because of that hill there. So I'm going to try to land somewhere right around here with the shot, and I might just kind of overplay this. Same type of thing, 1.7 per ring. And I'm going to do an overplay to play the wind effect. Wind effect will be important. If you don't play the wind correctly, you'll see it looks like I got that glitchy ball guide where it actually rolled out towards the, you could see that I was kind of set up on 2 different directions. You might want to use a little bit of side spin because it looks like it hit that side hill where I was trying to avoid because of that overplay. But you can see the general idea. You're not going to need much backspin there at all. I use under half a bar. I'll crank it up to 1 on a straight tailwind and kind of change my land zone a little bit. But just be wary of that little hill that they have set up there. You can see where the ball guide changed. It looks like I landed on the left side of that. So you need to make sure that your ball lands on the right side. So if you get a wind direction like that, you'll probably want to spin it towards the left and just try to land on that right hill. It's either that or make sure that you land on the left hill. Whichever you choose to set up on, just make sure that you play your spin accordingly towards the hole. As you can see, I had good speed there. It looks like I just deflected on the left side of the hill. So, good luck with your golden shots, guys. I expect you guys to easily kind of be able to get through and probably clear all the chests. You might just miss, 1 ring, but you'll see that this tutorial is very, very easy to get through this Maple Bay hole. So good luck. Let me know how it goes, and catch you guys on the next future guides. Good luck, everyone.